In these recent months, I've really had to get honest with myself about how impacted I've been with the idea that I've let people play in my face for years. But not even just letting other people play in my face, how much I've played in my own face. That I did not exist in the fullness of myself because I wanted to be sure that I was pleasing the other people. That when things didn't fully resonate, I wasn't honest about it, that I would just find a way to make it work because it didn't seem like it was taking anything from me. When in actuality, it was taking a lot from me. I was not existing from the overflow, that I was existing in a way that wasn't truly me, I guess I'll say. And again, the type of woman that I am, I moved to New York City when I was 20 years old by myself. And when I say by myself, of course I had help, but the by myself is just I lived with a stranger my very first month in New York. I lived with someone who I had to become friends with versus moving to New York and I'm being with family or I'm being with someone I already know. Like, no, the minute that I moved to New York, I was with a stranger from someone who knew that person. And it helped me integrate in a certain way. But being really honest with myself of just all the ways in which I was not loving myself and I wasn't showing up for myself and I wasn't valuing myself. And I feel like that's oftentimes the narrative for a lot of people. Not even just women, men too. But as a woman, I can only speak for women. And I feel like one of the biggest steps, one of the first steps of shifting that is being firm in your yes and being firm in your no. And I'm big. You can't make me do nothing I don't want to do. And if I want to say yes, I'm going to say yes. If I want to say no, I'm going to say no. But I had to realize that some of the times that I've said yes has been, even though I wanted to do it, I didn't see how much of more of a benefit it was for the other person versus myself. That I just felt like I was being loving. I felt like I was being caring. I felt like I was being considerate. And I may have been all those things, but at what cost? At what cost? Who is benefiting from this? It's not me. It's definitely not me. It's this other person. And the thing that I had to realize or really get honest about is that people won't think twice about not doing the same for you. Because the reality is self-sacrifice is nothing to get a badge of honor for. I wanted people to see how much I was doing. I wanted people to see how much emotionally I was giving, how much I was spiritually offering. And then when they didn't give the same to me, I felt like I got the short end of the stick, but nobody told me to overextend myself for the benefit of somebody else other than me. And see, when people hear that language, they think it means be nasty, be unkind, be rude and be all these things. But I will never preach that because I believe that more than anything in this life, your heart posture matters. Your heart posture matters. That I can't say that I've grown and I can't say I'm a renewed person when my heart is nasty. I love love. I love being a loving person. I love being a caring person. But when it's reciprocated, or when I'm assigned to somebody, because there does exist times in this life where you will be assigned to someone. You will be assigned to moments where you're going to have to give more than you get. But your romantic relationships, your friendships are not your assignment. And I had to learn that my friendships are not my assignment. And it took my therapist to really sit me down and for me to figure that out. Like, yes, you're going to have to give yourself emotionally and mentally, and you're going to have to hold space for people in a certain way. But friendships that you choose in this lifetime, romantic connections you choose in this lifetime, every type of relationship you choose in this lifetime, there should be reciprocity. And of course, there are going to be moments where you may have to give more than you get, and they're going to have to give more than they get. But if that's the only thing that ever exists, it's time to go back to the drawing board. And I had to realize that I had to get honest with myself. Everything is not always another person's fault. Sometimes it's what we allow. It's what I've allowed. I allowed you to stay in my life longer than you should have. I allowed you to lie in my face. I allowed you to not be in alignment the minute you stepped foot in my life, but I leaned in anyways. I allowed myself to not trust my intuition. I allowed myself to go against what my body was feeling. And it's so easy to blame other people, but we got to be so for real and sit with things for ourselves. And I'm sitting with things. And I don't want to. I don't want to. It does not feel good. It does not feel good. Of like, wow. Because I used to live in fear of like, I don't want them to play in my face. I don't want nobody to play in my face. But it's like, that was a big thing for me because I kept playing in my own face. And when I say play in my face, just going against my intuition, not trusting myself. But I think a big piece, I'm not existing in that anymore, but a big piece of not existing in that is being honest and speaking like this. Because I don't want to say I've been impacted. I don't want to, but I have to, because that's the only way for me to get through it. I'm a firm believer in the only way through, the only way out is through. I couldn't figure it out. The only way out is through. The only way out is through, not around. And I got that from Finding Nemo. You can't go around, you got to go through. You got to go through it. And it sucks because you want, for me, oftentimes, people come back after the fact and it's like, oh, I messed up. Shut up. Get out. I don't want to hear none of that. But it's a thing of honoring myself. And this may be all over the place. I just needed to get this out and just chat. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. Because maybe, I think about this stuff and maybe somebody else is thinking about this or will think about it or has thought about it. But I know that everything is connected. We're all connected. So I know if I'm thinking about it, somebody else is. So maybe that's why I'm making this right now. And yeah, I will return. It's never a goodbye and it's always a see you later.